Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Alex Su, Director of Customer Success and Solutions here at DigitalOcean, and I'm so excited to welcome you to another amazing edition of Deploy. Deploy is DigitalOcean's virtual experience where developers, entrepreneurs, startups, and small businesses alike come together to learn new skills, expand their network, and walk away with practical takeaways for their business. Over the next few hours, we're taking the plunge into cloud native and what it means for your applications. Our tech experts from DigitalOcean, as well as industry professionals in the field, will provide Kubernetes starter kits, best practices for GitOps, time-saving security tips, and robust tooling setups to build your apps with ease. Our customers are worldwide, and our mission is global. That's why we've split the sessions into two tracks, the Americas and APAC EMEA. So no matter where you may be tuning in from, you'll always have the opportunity to catch a live talk. And if you can't make it live, that's okay too. All of the sessions will be recorded so that you can watch on demand at your convenience. We don't stop there. By watching live, you'll also get the chance to connect with other cloud enthusiasts in the Deploy Discord server, where you can ask speakers and DigitalOcean teammates questions in real time about your projects. We've got a Kubernetes challenge cooking up in one of the channels as well, so make sure you click on the link above to join the conversation. Here at DigitalOcean, we believe in accelerating the future by empowering development teams who are creating more opportunities in the world of digital products and services. Our mission is to simplify cloud computing so that you can spend more time doing what you do best, building software that changes the world. Over the course of the event, you'll hear from scrappy dev teams who've done just that, saving precious time and resources with DigitalOcean's Kubernetes and other managed services. We'll even show you a few live product demos of how to replicate this success in your own business setup. It's all happening right here, where we'll bring you great minds and great ideas to one central place. Let's kick things off with a keynote from our CEO, Yancey Spruill, who will share the DigitalOcean vision and provide an overview of what we accomplished this year. Our Director of Product, Jake Levirne, will then give an update on a few new shiny product features that have been highly requested. And we'll finish it off hearing from our brand new VP of Social Impact, Admas Kanyagia, who will paint the road on the future of social impact here at DigitalOcean. I've done enough talking. I hope you all enjoy what's to come. Take it away, Yancey.
Welcome to Deploy, DigitalOcean's virtual conference. This edition of Deploy is focused on cloud-native applications and businesses. And over the next few hours, you'll hear from DigitalOcean employees about best practices to build and grow your cloud-native apps. Plus, you'll also get to hear from our customers on what they've built using our products and the role DigitalOcean plays in helping them grow their businesses. And most importantly, we'll hear from you. Throughout the event, we'll be using Discord as our main chat platform where you can ask any of the speakers questions, connect and network with other conference attendees, and chat with DigitalOcean employees on any and all things cloud native. Any and all of your questions are welcomed, so please make sure to join the Deploy Discord to get the full conference experience. At DigitalOcean, we're driven by our values, and our core values start with community. We strongly believe that our community is bigger than just us, and we serve a global community of builders, including developers, entrepreneurs, and startups who want to build successful products using the power of cloud computing. Many of these builders created products to ease the pain caused by the pandemic, and I want to give them special recognition today. I feel honored that they chose to build their products on DigitalOcean. Now let's take a look at two of these businesses. The first company I'd like to highlight is Blindside Networks. Blindside Networks is an open source virtual teaching platform. They've hosted over 1.6 billion minutes of online classes in the past 13 months. and have ensured that students around the world have uninterrupted access to education during these trying times. They use DigitalOcean products such as Droplets, Managed Kubernetes, and Managed Databases to scale their business. Next, I'd like to tell you about Medito Foundation. Medito Foundation is dedicated to improving mental well-being and helping people cope better with depression, stress, and anxiety. They use technology to research and develop solutions that positively transform the way we all experience our lives. Medito Foundation has over 250,000 users, and we feel grateful that they chose to grow their business using DigitalOcean products such as Droplets and Managed Databases. Blindside Networks and Medito Foundation are just two examples of the global community of builders we serve. We enable these builders to grow by giving developers the ability to expand their knowledge of programming languages through our tutorials, enabling entrepreneurs to grow their apps by introducing new features, and allowing startups to grow their businesses by expanding globally. Earlier this year, DigitalOcean turned 10 years old, and from day one, our mission has been to simplify cloud computing so that builders can spend more time creating software that changes the world. We want to open up access for builders around the world to participate and thrive in the digital economy. And we do that by creating simple, easy-to-use products that power a wide range of businesses. This relentless focus on simplicity has paid huge dividends. Today, we are proud that DigitalOcean is used by over 600,000 customers in 185 countries and is the go-to cloud platform for developers, entrepreneurs, and startups to build and grow their businesses. Now, let's hear from two customers on how DigitalOcean has helped them grow their businesses.
Hi there, my name is Tim Osborne. I am the CTO of Atom Learning. Atom is an edtech company based in London, and we provide an adaptive learning platform for kids, which essentially means if kids are doing well, it gets harder, and if they're not doing so well, it gets easier. We've experienced a huge amount of growth in the last year. Recently, we've doubled in revenue, doubled in user count, and we've also gone from 25 employees, to 100 employees in the space of a year and a half as well. And we've done all of that as a bootstrapped company with no fundraising. So to talk a little bit about the problem and the opportunity that we're looking to address with DO, we're looking for scalability and stability. So we wanted a platform that was going to be able to grow with us and provide the fast, responsive service that our customers want. And we wanted to follow industry standard stuff. So we wanted to use something that we could hire new people into the team and they would be able to use that straight off the bat. So to give you a little bit of overview as to what our solution is and how we got started with DO. I've been aware of DO for ages. I have been reading your tutorials online since I was about 12, teaching myself to code. And initially we were using a different hosting provider, using VPS deployments, very bare bones. And I was for something more managed and something better, where we have better support. So I signed up to DO and just happened to get a notification that someone would like to chat to me about my solution. And that kind of kicked off the relationship with DO. I was added to a Slack channel where I could chat through all my ideas with the solution engineer, which was great. We built a proof of concept on managed Kubernetes, and that was pretty much where we started. It took us about a month to build the proof of concept, and then we were able to migrate away from our old provider all over to DO and spin up in the course of a really short time frame, which was great. It was really easy to roll out. As part of that, it was a very smooth process, despite the fact that I was teaching myself how to use Kubernetes at the time. I literally didn't know anything about it when I went in. I just knew that we probably wanted to use it. it was super easy to get set up, and I immediately saw the benefits of the managed databases and managed Kubernetes stuff that DO was providing, which previously I was using like databases installed directly on VPSs. So that was great. We now pretty much use every DigitalOcean product. We use Kubernetes, volumes, managed databases, droplets, pretty much everything. The only two things we don't use are the container registry and the DNS service. But yeah, everything else is in our feature set. The reason we kind of went with managed Kubernetes on DigitalOcean was it kind of was just the perfect balance of control and feature set. So it was a really slimmed down feature set, which meant that as someone who didn't know anything about Kubernetes in the past, I was able to just get started straight away and teach myself as I went without having to be an expert. So and the feature set just wasn't overwhelming, which I did see on other cloud providers. So in terms of how the sort of DigitalOcean has impacted our business and what benefits we're seeing from being with DO, the main thing I would say is scale. We have a really low maintenance infrastructure. So we have a lot of deployments, lots of different environments. There's only 2 of us that actually manage those environments, and it's pretty straightforward for us to do that. The other big benefit of DO is the price point. The cost is so much lower than other cloud providers, yet you don't get an inferior product. You just don't have a load of additional features that you don't really need or want. In terms of how that's had an impact on our business, I think it's just, you can tell from our user growth, we've doubled in users. We have around 300,000 users a day now, and 300,000 a month, and we haven't really had to make any changes to our fundamental infrastructure in order for that to happen. It just sort of naturally scaled with the increase of users. The other impact we've had is, as I said, the cost is just, as a bootstrap startup, it's incredibly important for us to not spend money if we can avoid it. And it's an anecdotal thing, but when I was looking at various other cloud providers for similar deployment, AWS was literally 10 times more expensive than DO. In terms of what was my favorite thing about DigitalOcean experience, it has to be the simplicity of your feature set. So you just have a really good way of knowing what's really important and providing those, but without overcomplicating it with additional things that you don't need. It's also great that we've got a Slack channel that just allowed us to communicate directly with solution engineers and understand how we can scale and ask questions, which was great. In terms of how that's helped us grow, it's basically just allowed us to focus on coding and adding to our platform without having to worry about the infrastructure. In terms of future, we are looking forward to adding more users. We've got a lot of scale planned in the next year. We're also launching around the world. So we're launching in the US, and we have a new deployment in the New York data center, which is exciting. And we've also just recently finished beta phase of a remote dev environment for all of our developers to use instead of running all their local services on their laptop. Thank you for building a really great product at DigitalOcean. You've really grown fantastically with us over the last year, and it's just a really, really nice customer experience, and we're looking forward to continuing to scale with you.
Hi, I'm Andres Paglayan. I'm the CTO of EMR-Bear. We are a software as a service company that cater to the niche of the behavioral health medical records. And, we've been bootstrapped and started our business about 10 or so years ago. And since then, we've been growing organically. But during the last years, our growth was a little more than organic. I mean, we've done pretty much like 100% increase in business during the last 2 years. We got into DigitalOcean 4 or 5 years ago when we were looking to really get out of our data center. We've been doing more engineering and computer maintenance and setup than we were doing software development. So we got started out of like a necessity. I mean, it's like, since we weren't like great engineers, we painted ourselves into a corner, and we got a situation where few arrays went bad. And we discovered that, it's like we cannot really shut down one machine to fix the other one. And, we got to a point where like we will be, shutting somebody's service down, even if it was for a few minutes. So we decided to use that opportunity to migrate straight to a cloud solution. And we believe that, DigitalOcean was offering a great value in terms of price and, the resources that they were giving for that price at the time. Rolling it out was okay. I mean, it's like what you expect. At the very beginning, there weren't like so many managed services as they are today. I mean, our options were mostly droplets, so we were getting droplets. And then with the use of Ansible, we were kind of like orchestrating like the installs on the droplets. We first deployed Kubernetes by ourselves on the droplets before it was an option. But then it's like, as soon as it became a managed option by DigitalOcean, we decided to jump on board. A lot of credit has to be given to an ex-associate of mine, Wylan. I mean, he was here with me, and we both done the hammering to get that done. It was like both the extraordinary learning curve and the pains of implementing it ourselves. But as soon as the managed version came, we said, okay, time to migrate everything to the managed version, and life became, much better since then. Which is a great value for us. It's like we believe that the more we can outsource into managed resources to DigitalOcean, the better it is for us. We don't have like solid metrics that say, this is how we did it before. This is how, we're a small company, but the metric is like the stress. I'm not stressed at all. So that must be a very good way to say it's going much better. Like I will just get an email that said, one of your droplets went bad, and we just restarted another one without, anybody noticing. So that's all the metric I need at this time. In terms of enabling our business, DigitalOcean gives us the scalability that we may need at any time. So before, it's like we were getting more and more customers, and it's like, okay, now I need to go shopping for servers, and I will go shop for the servers. The specs will, be different of what we bought a year before. So we didn't get like, a very homogeneous install in our data center. And now it's like, I need more servers. It's 2 clicks that I have to make. So that is great. So I believe that, we don't see our future without collaborating and being a, business partner with DigitalOcean. It is part of the company that we are now. And we believe that, we'll keep using more and more resources from them as they come. So, we're really happy. It's been a great technological partnership, and we'll continue to do so and build upon that partnership.
Over the years, building cloud-native apps has become more and more popular. Cloud-native apps are built and run to take full advantage of all the benefits that cloud computing offers and commonly utilize microservices, containerization, and Kubernetes. We've made investments in our product portfolio to make it easy for you to build and grow your cloud-native apps. This includes products like Managed Kubernetes, fully managed databases, and App Platform, our platform as a service offering. As a next step in our journey, I'm excited to tell you that serverless computing is coming to DigitalOcean in the near future. A few months ago, we acquired Nimbella, a serverless platform provider. The addition of Nimbella's serverless capabilities will complement the infrastructure as a service and platform as a service offerings on DigitalOcean. This will ultimately provide more choice to application builders while maintaining the simplicity of the product experience and the price predictability that DigitalOcean is known for. Our teams are working hard on the integration, and we plan to have a serverless offering ready in the first half of 2022. With that, I'd like to pass it on to Jake Levirne to cover DigitalOcean's product updates in more detail.
Hi, I'm Jake Levirne, Senior Director of Product Management here at DigitalOcean, and I'm really excited to be back together again at DO Deploy, and especially excited to be looking back over the past year, all the things that we've been bringing forward in terms of new products, product updates, to really make the DigitalOcean Cloud better for you, better for your teams, better for your applications and the businesses and projects that you're trying to build out. So let's dig in. Let's take a look at the breadth of capabilities that DigitalOcean offers in terms of compute. So it's really been an exciting journey at DO, just building on top of Droplets, bringing you more choices for how you run your application or your workload. And Droplets, by far our most popular product and longest lived product, but really Droplets give you complete control. It's a virtual machine in the cloud that you can use as you see fit. And then moving sort of over to the right here and looking at DigitalOcean Kubernetes service, it's really taking the power of the open Kubernetes offering along with the entire CNCF ecosystem and making it available to you so that when you're building out containerized distributed applications, you've got the best tools available. And DOKS brings those to you at a great cost and with the full sort of openness of Kubernetes. You sort of get that raw experience. You get upgrades to the latest version. It's really yours to control and manage. And then moving again a little bit to the right here, App Platform brings you that same power of being able to build scaled out, distributed, containerized applications, but it lets you do it by focusing on your code, focusing on your customers, and letting us do the work of really managing that infrastructure and taking away the burden of having to think about infrastructure and instead being able to focus on the application that you're building out, whether that be a PHP application or Node.js application, a Python application. We can take care of that for you. And then I'm really excited because we've recently announced the acquisition of Nimbella, which means that coming in the first half of next year, we'll be introducing DigitalOcean's serverless offering, bringing functions as a service to DO, built on top of open source capabilities, which is amazing. And so with that, you're going to be able to focus even more just on the functions, function by function code that you need to write in order to build out your web application backend, endpoint by endpoint, or be able to build a rich event-driven application using functions. So I will talk a little bit more about that, but just really excited for the breadth of capabilities we have. And of course, regardless of how you choose to mix and match these capabilities for your specific project, they're all delivered with a simple user experience, delivered in a way that's truly open, so you retain control over your application. So taking a look in more depth at our most popular product, Droplets, we continue to innovate with Droplets by introducing Premium Droplets. This gives you more speed with the same simplicity. So you now have the ability to choose specific Intel or AMD processors, including the second generation Intel Xeon processor, second generation AMD EPYC processors. And those are paired up with NVMe storage, which really boosts the performance. And so for just an incremental cost increase, you get a lot more power. In fact, we've benchmarked our Premium Droplets using TPC benchmarking, and we've seen a 36% plus increase in performance of our premium Intel Droplets with NVMe SSD as compared to our regular Droplets. So really, it makes a ton of sense to choose Premium Droplets as a starting point when you're building out basic infrastructure. And we can even take a look at this. I mean, the breadth of capabilities we have just within Droplet lets you choose from shared CPU virtual machines through to dedicated CPU virtual machines. and even those that are optimized for specific use cases. And so with shared CPU basic droplets, again, the premium droplets are a great starting point. You get a lot more power for just incrementally more cost. On the dedicated CPU side, when you're first working with dedicated CPUs, general purpose is a great balance between CPU, storage, memory, right? It's really going to serve a lot of needs. And then, of course, there are optimized dedicated droplets, CPU, memory, or storage optimized droplets, which are going to be better suited to specific use cases. We'll even talk about a few of those use cases in a little bit around managed databases. So that droplet offering, we continue to innovate there. And along with the innovation in performance and power, we've also been innovating on the user experience of droplets. So droplets have always had a way to attach to them through SSH, through password, but now we make it even easier to access your droplets straight from a web browser. So you get a real rich terminal experience straight from the browser, straight from the control panel when you're accessing your droplets. It relies on SSH under the covers, so it's fully secure. And it just makes it so that wherever you are, if you need that quick access to your droplet, you can have it directly and straight from the web control panel for DigitalOcean. So that's really exciting news. Continuing on through the offerings that we've been sort of upgrading and improving, load balancers, huge improvements here. Also along the lines of performance. You're going to see this theme over and over again across the product updates that I've got. We wanted to make sure that you had the flexibility you needed to scale load balancers seamlessly just by adding more nodes. And so that flexibility is what we've announced with our latest load balancer offering. By putting together multiple load balancer nodes, you can go up to 100 nodes. And with that size and scope, you'll be able to handle 1 million requests per second or 1 million simultaneous requests. This is really a massive improvement, over 100x improvement compared to our previous load balancer offering. And speaking of performance improvements across the board, with DigitalOcean Kubernetes service, we've done massive investments in the control plane. Right now, we've got an early availability offering of our new control plane, and it includes optional high availability master nodes as part of your cluster. You even get those high availability master nodes for free with certain cluster configurations. So it's really bringing a lot more power and redundancy to DigitalOcean Kubernetes service. In addition, the redesigned control plane spins up faster, repairs itself more quickly, and it's much more secure. So all of these are reasons to look at upgrading your cluster or creating a new cluster on DigitalOcean using our Kubernetes service. In addition, we've made the user experience of DigitalOcean Kubernetes better. When you've got multiple resources attached to your cluster, things like additional storage resources, we've made it seamless to manage those all in one user experience, one user interface. We've made it easy to put those into a project, handle the lifecycle of your cluster as a single unit, including things like deletes. And we've also made it much faster to apply those upgrades that I was talking about earlier, right? One of the huge benefits of DigitalOcean Kubernetes is that we're really on top of bringing new versions from upstream Kubernetes to you as fast as possible. And with surge upgrades, the actual time it takes to do those upgrades is much reduced. So lots of improvements on the Kubernetes front, again, making it more reliable, more scalable for you, for your business, for your application. As we talk about the power of DigitalOcean for your application, for your business, there's a lot that we've been doing on the app platform. So again, app platform brings you that full power of a distributed system for running containerized applications, but we manage all of that underlying infrastructure for you. And so some of the things that we've been doing with the app platform is we maintain that simplicity of just pointing us to your code or your container. We'll run it for you, but we've maintained that simplicity, but added in a bunch of robustness. So for example, when you add databases to your application and app platform, you can now use the trusted sources capability of databases to make sure that database stays closed off to the broader internet, but accessible from your application. In addition, we've added in support for all the managed database engines that we offer. So those are all easily accessible right from within the app platform. We've improved alerting and monitoring. You can get alerting and monitoring on your application right from within app platform. We've made it easier to deploy different types of applications, including deployment from mono repos. So just lots of improvements across the board. And some capabilities that we're really excited about for app platform are things like log forwarding. So you can forward logs to external systems like Papertrail and Datadog, making it easier to operate and manage your application over the long term. You can view the progress of application deployment with rich data. We've added in support for cross-origin resource sharing, and app platform is now available in all regions. So we really elevated app platform to be able to give you the breadth of capability that you need in the data centers that you need in order to build out your application, your startup, your business, and your projects. We're just talking a little bit about databases. One of the most exciting things that we've announced this year is MongoDB support. So we've added MongoDB as an engine to our managed database offering. It brings you the most popular NoSQL database for you to use as you're building out your applications. You end up with the same fully managed solution that we offer across all of our databases with the scale that you need, automatic daily backups, automatic updates, all taken care of for you. We've done this directly in collaboration with Mongo. So we're just excited, again, to bring that open technology to DigitalOcean over and over again. So with Mongo, our managed databases portfolio is well-rounded, including Postgres, MySQL, and Redis. So we've got support for a range of different engines, which you're going to need as you're building out your applications. And when we look at how we recommend deploying these engines, you have flexibility. The same set of droplet offerings that we were talking about earlier are available to you for your managed database use. And so what that means is like those premium droplets that we were talking about could be a great choice for a basic Postgres or MySQL database. But if you've got more demand, more workload, you need dedicated CPUs and maybe more storage for Postgres and MySQL, general purpose droplets or storage optimized droplets are going to be perfect for those use cases. And when we look at Redis and its in-memory data store, that means that memory optimized droplets could be the perfect fit for high production Redis clusters that you're trying to deploy. So you can take a look at those. Shifting from databases to take a look at our marketplace and talk about that. It's just been a phenomenal year. We've added so many applications into our marketplace. We have over 230 one-click apps. Some newcomers include Trilio Vault, Red Panda, Netbox, dozens and dozens more. And in addition, we've been focusing on the user experience of our marketplace, just making it really easy to spin up a marketplace image in coordination with a managed database. So, for example, our WordPress and our Node.js one-clicks both offer you the ability to spin up a managed database as you're creating those one-clicks, right? So what that means is you can get a production WordPress or production Node.js environment up and running really quickly with a one-click plus a managed database. And then, as I mentioned early on, one of our most exciting announcements, our acquisition of Nimbella, means that serverless computing is coming to DO. we're taking a look at launching our DO serverless capability in the first half of next year. Nimbella brings the power of OpenWhisk to DO in order to deliver functions as a service. And these functions as a service can work seamlessly together with App Platform. They'll be able to work seamlessly across a range of our offerings so that you can build out web application backends, event-driven processing, and again, do it in a way that scales automatically from day one, and that lets you focus just on function by function, building out the capability that you need. Serverless computing helps you eliminate server management. It lets you get virtually infinite scale from day one, and really gives you control over costs. So it's just a great way for us to round out the capabilities that you need in order to build out your application, build out your business. You have a wide range of choices now. And Nimbella, I mean, it was an amazing choice from my perspective because it supports open standards, open source based approach to functions, which is really powerful. But it also brings some capabilities into the mix, like easier development of stateful functions. It's built directly on Kubernetes, so you sort of get that openness throughout. So again, look out for our serverless offering the first half of 2022. And in general, just take a look at all the new capabilities that we've been building out. We really are excited. I'm proud looking back over the last year of all the things that we've done to try and make DigitalOcean the cloud for you and for your team to be able to build the things that you want to build, focus on your users, your customers, and let us offer the simplicity that you need to make it easier to manage your infrastructure. So with that, I hope you enjoy the rest of Deploy Conference, and I'm really glad to have had the time to share with you. Thanks.
Okay. Thanks, Jake, for the product updates. Before we close the keynote, I want to share an update on a program that's very close to my heart, Hollie's Hub for Good. I'd like to pass it on to Admas Kanyagia, our Vice President of Social Impact, to provide an update on Hollie's Hub for Good.
Thank you, Yancey, and thank you to DigitalOcean for this warm welcome to Deploy. I recently joined DO in late September to develop a new social impact and sustainability function for the company. I come with 20 years of experience in the social sector, from working intimately with nonprofits, philanthropies, government, and companies on deepening their role in society. I'm excited to join a company that is driven, relevant, and based on love. My past experience has shown me that companies can take a role in addressing the pervasive and persistent social issues in our world. The idea of stakeholder capitalism has compelled companies to focus on long-term value. Companies can no longer focus only on short-term profit. They need to focus on the aspirations of employees, suppliers, customers, community members, and the environments where their businesses operate. What is even more compelling is that when companies do that, they can drive shared value. They can contribute to a social problem and leverage their business at the same time. We now see that profit and are linked. As a social change maker, it's incredible to witness this sea change across. I'm excited to help DO define a new vision for social impact that will integrate with the business, work closely with social sector partners, and bring impact to the many communities across the world that we care about. I believe DO is poised and ready to bring this vision to life. Luckily, I don't have to start my work from scratch. There is an incredible breadth of work already underway at DO. In 2020, in response to the pandemic, we launched Hollie's Hub for Good as a way to donate a portion of our infrastructure to organizations looking to make a difference in their communities. In early 2021, we announced our commitment to join the Pledge 1% movement as part of our IPO. We are allocating 1% of our pre-IPO equity valuation, around $50 million, to expand Hollie's Hub for Good for the next 10 years. Since our launch, we have sponsored almost 1,300 projects. And moving forward, Hollie's Hub for Good will include projects to help bring more people into tech, step up our commitment to open source software, and be the vehicle to ensure our sustainability moving forward. Here are some of the Hollie's Hub for Good projects that we've continued to support since the summer, and I'd love to tell you about a few of them. The Federation of Humanitarian Technologists, or FHT, is a global network of developers who are designing, building, and maintaining critical open source infrastructure for those who are working in response to humanitarian crises. FHT is using our droplets to build software for nonprofits and the wider civil society for a time when technology is needed the most. Nukoko is a sustainable development project in rural Ghana, working to develop the local economy, provide opportunity to students, and empower women. They are using our droplets and database offerings to host their website, support internal communication, and manage donors and beneficiaries. We're so proud that our technology can be a force for good across the world and help us demonstrate that the community is bigger than just us. Thank you to the DO family for this warm welcome, and I look forward to the journey to come and the incredible impact we will make together. So please enjoy the next few hours of the Deploy conference, where we will dive into cloud-based technologies that can help you grow your business. Be sure to join the real-time conversations in Discord so you can connect with other cloud enthusiasts and DO employees alike. We are happy to answer any and all of your questions. So let's get on with the show.